Hello, everyone. Well, some improvement in the northwestern part of the state today, but for everyone else, another exceptionally hot day today. In fact, in some places, it could end up feeling a little bit worse. Check out the high temperatures. We're expecting a lot of us in the mid to upper 90s for highs, but notice Sioux City only in the low 90s, better than it was yesterday. Across the state, it's going to be windy today, gusts in that 30 to 40 mile per hour range. And unfortunately, it's not just the air temperatures, which are at or near record highs, but it's also going to be humid. So look what it's going to be feeling like this afternoon. I tell you what, the worst combination of high temperatures and humidity is looking like the far eastern part of the state. I think we're going to see some of the highest feels like temperatures in and around the Quad Cities. Look at that, Davenport, 105 this afternoon, but nowhere good. 102 in Waterloo, 103 in Des Moines, 97 in Mason City. But notice Sioux City, not that humid, so it's going to be feeling like our actual temperatures in the low 90s. But besides Sioux City, everywhere else where you're seeing these feels like temperatures, upper 90s, triple digits, it's going to be an afternoon where if you can just stay inside the AC, that's where you want to be. If you do have to be out this afternoon, stay hydrated and take breaks from the heat, at least in the shade, or better yet, going inside and cooling down for a little bit. Now, I think it's going to be dry during the day today, but as early as about 7 o'clock this evening, we could start to see a few isolated showers, weak storms pop up. But look what happens when we jump ahead to 10 o'clock, particularly it looks like in the central part of the state. Notice that we're starting to see those shades of red showing up. And this is a chance for storms and, unfortunately, the chance for some severe storms as well. And so I tell you what, places like Waterloo and Des Moines, Fort Dodge, I mean, there could be a little bit of wiggle room in where this line ultimately sets up. We're going to see a line of storms develop, it looks like, and within this line, there could be some stronger storms. So we're most concerned during the evening hours. However, it does look like the severe threat is going to continue into the overnight hours as well. Look how the activity kind of blossoms up to the north. This is at 1 a.m., so I still got to mention the smallest of chances still for severe storms, even around the Sioux City area. I do think by 4 a.m. we're going to transition to just regular showers and storms, no longer seeing severe storms. So the severe threat for this evening and into the early overnight hours, again, dry during the day. As for Waterloo, Mason City, Des Moines, Sioux City, notice Quad Cities probably going to stay dry. This is associated with a cold front, not coming to you, so no worries there in the Quad Cities. But everywhere in these shades of yellow, the rain, lightning, looks like there's a pretty good chance. And I tell you what, worst case scenario, can't rule out some quarter-size hail, wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. And though the chance is very small, can't completely rule out an EF0 or EF1 tornado. But the severe weather threat is going to come back for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow morning, I think the best chance of rain is going to be in the northwestern part of the state, and we're just talking about showers and maybe some weak storms, but no severe storms. We're going to see even more significant temperature difference across the state tomorrow as this front is on the move. Look at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, where we're going to be reaching the mid 90s over in the Quad Cities, another exceptionally hot day, another day when we're talking about a heat warning, but then transitioning to just the upper 80s. And, we might actually warm up a little bit Sioux City in the late afternoon, but probably only in the low 80s around the Sioux City area. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, still not worried about any severe storms. It's probably just going to be isolated showers and weak storms. Have to talk about difference in the winds tomorrow as well. So in the western part of the state, it's going to be breezy. Then windy in the central part of the state, but we're going to have the hottest temperatures. Very windy. I think for the Quad Cities, we can see gusts around 40 miles per hour. Now, I think the severe threat for Wednesday is going to begin in the late afternoon. Notice how there's a little bit more activity starting to show up. Still gaps, there's still scattered activity late afternoon. I think we might see a peak in the intensity of these storms during the early evening hours. So 8 o'clock in the evening, notice those shades of orange and red showing up. Once again, the potential for damaging wind and hail. However, as we get later into the evening hours, it looks like this line of storms is going to be weakening again and probably a little bit faster than what we're even going to see tonight. So look at 11 o'clock. That line getting into the Quad Cities, but not looking as impressive. So we're going to still mention a chance for severe storms for the Quad Cities, but looking smaller than places farther to the west. And then by 2 a.m. Wednesday night, the front clear of us, and all the activity is over with. So, for the threat for late afternoon through the evening hours on Wednesday, notice Sioux City not included. But where we're most concerned about is the far northeastern part of the state. Quad Cities, the risk is there, but smaller. I'd say Mason City, Waterloo have a little bit better chance. I think the greatest threat is up in Wisconsin. But once again, much of the state's under a severe threat with a focus in the northeastern part of the state. And I do think the hail could end up being where we do get those storms to peak in the early evening hours. The hail could end up being a little bit bigger. We could see a couple spots, see up to golf ball size hail. Once again, I think worst case up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. And once again, chances are high, though can't rule out a couple of EF0 or EF1 tornadoes as well. So we have a couple of stormy evenings to get through. Finally, on Thursday, cooler temperatures for everyone and quieter conditions.